"You're too old to walk me down the aisle, Dad." My daughter Jennifer said that standing in my kitchen. The kitchen I built. Didn't ask. Told me. Like she was picking paint colors. I smiled. Poured myself more coffee. Asked her one question. She went pale. What she didn't know was I'd already made 3 phone calls that morning. By the time her wedding came around, she'd understand exactly what too old costs. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. I'm 72 years old. Built houses for 46 years before my knees finally made me retire. Jennifer knows this. Knew this. Past tense feels more accurate now. She showed up on a Tuesday morning. March. I remember because the crocuses Martha planted were just coming up beside the porch. 23 years she's been gone, and those flowers still come back every spring. "Dad, we need to talk about the wedding." I was making breakfast. Eggs, toast, bacon. Same thing I've made every morning since Martha died. Jennifer didn't want any. She had her purse clutched against her chest like a shield. "June 14th, I said. "I've got it on the calendar." "Right, about that." She sat down at the table without being asked. "Brad and I have been discussing the ceremony." Brad, her fiancé, works in finance, wears suits that cost more than my first car. I've met him 4 times in the 2 years they've been together. "We want it to be perfect," Jennifer continued. "Really elegant, sophisticated." Sounds nice. "So we've made some decisions about the wedding party." She pulled out her phone, started scrolling, didn't look at me. "Brad's father is going to officiate. He got ordained online, and his brother Marcus is best man, obviously. Obviously. For the processional, we're keeping it simple. Just the bridesmaids and groomsmen. Very streamlined." I set down my spatula. Streamlined. Modern. You know how traditional weddings can feel dated. We're going for something contemporary. The eggs were starting to burn. I turned off the stove. "What are you saying, Jennifer?" She finally looked up. "I think it would be better if you just attended as a guest. Sat with Aunt Marie and Uncle Tom. You don't want me to walk you down the aisle." "It's not that I don't want." She caught herself. Reset. I watched her do it. "Dad, you're 72. The aisle is long. St. Catherine's has all those steps. I just don't think." "You think I'll fall?" "I think it would be stressful for you. And honestly, the optics." She stopped. "The optics. Brad's family is very image conscious. His father knows the governor. There will be people there from his firm. Important people." I poured myself more coffee, hands steady. That surprised me. "So I'm too old, too decrepit. Might embarrass you in front of the important people. Don't twist this. I'm thinking of you. That's thoughtful." She stood up. "I knew you'd make this difficult." "I asked one question, Jennifer. You're the one who came here to tell me I'm not good enough for your wedding." "That's not what I said." "Then what did you say?" She grabbed her purse. "I'll text you the details about the reception. You're still invited to that, obviously." Obviously. The door closed. Not a slam. Worse. Careful. Like she was being considerate of the old man who might have a heart attack from loud noises. I sat there with my coffee. It had gone cold. Same table where I'd taught Jennifer long division, where we'd addressed her college applications, where I'd told her that her mother had died. Too old. I pulled out my phone, made the first call. "Mitchell Engineering, this is Patricia." "Patricia, it's James Mitchell. Is Howard available?" "Mr. Mitchell, it's been too long. Hold on." Howard came on 30 seconds later. "James, hell, I was just thinking about you yesterday. How's retirement?" "Boring. Listen, you still on the board at Whitmore Financial?" "I am. Why?" "Need a favor." The thing about working construction for 46 years in the same city is you build things for people, important people, people who remember. Howard Brennan had needed a custom home office in 1997, wanted cherry wood built-ins, very specific design. His regular contractor said it couldn't be done. I did it in 3 weeks. "What do you need?" "Information. Whitmore Financial. You have a junior analyst there named Brad Covington?" "Hold on. I heard keyboard clicking. Yeah, hired 8 months ago. Why? He's marrying my daughter. Congratulations. Thanks. How's he doing there? Good employee? Howard paused. This a father checking on future son-in-law thing? Something like that. He's fine. Competent. Bit of a climber. His father plays golf with our CEO, which helped him get the position. His performance? Like I said, fine. Nothing spectacular. He talks a good game. I thanked him. Hung up. Made the second call. Riverside Events. This is James Mitchell. You're handling a wedding June 14th. Jennifer Mitchell and Brad Covington. Let me check. Yes, sir. What can I help you with? I'm the bride's father. I need to know who's paying for this. Oh, I can't really. I built your building, 2003. Fixed the foundation issues when the original contractor cut corners. Your boss Tom still works there? Yes, sir. Tell him James Mitchell is on the phone. See if that helps your memory about who's paying. It did. Tom got on the line. We talked for 2 minutes, and suddenly, the event coordinator was very helpful. The wedding budget was $63,000. Brad's family was covering the venue and catering. Jennifer was paying for everything else. Flowers, photographer, band, dress, invitations. $28,000. Her share. I thanked them. Made the third call. Citizens Bank, this is Rachel. Rachel, James Mitchell. I need to speak with someone about my accounts. 20 minutes later, I'd confirmed what I suspected. Jennifer had $17,000 in her savings account. She'd opened it when she was 16. I deposited $200 every month since then, even after she graduated college. Got her job, moved out. I'd been doing it for 24 years, $200 a month times 12 months times 24 years, $57,600, not counting interest. She'd withdrawn $15,000 3 weeks ago, wedding expenses probably. That left her with about $2,000 in savings plus whatever she was carrying in checking. She was short. Way short. I sat there looking at those numbers. I'd built that safety net without her asking, just kept depositing. Every month, same day, like clockwork. And now I was too old to walk her down the aisle. My phone buzzed. Jennifer. Forgot to mention, can you cover the photographer? It's $3,500. I know it's a lot, but Brad's family is already paying for so much, and this is kind of the bride's family's responsibility traditionally. I stared at that text for 5 full minutes. Then I called the bank back. Rachel, I need to make some changes to that account. The wedding was 12 weeks away. I marked it on my calendar in the workshop. Same workshop where I'd built Jennifer's crib, her dollhouse, her bookshelf. Every piece of furniture in her first apartment. The money came in waves. That's what I didn't realize until I started looking at my bank statements. Really looking. $500. Her car broke down. January 2019, $1,200. Security deposit on a new apartment. March 2019, $800. Dental work. July 2019, $2,000. Emergency fund for the wedding. October 2023, $1,500. Brad and I are short on rent this month. December 2023. I scrolled back through 4 years of statements. Added it up on paper. Old school, pen, calculator, ruled notebook, $84,300, not counting the monthly deposits into her savings, not counting the car I'd bought her when she graduated college. $22,000, that Accord, not counting the down payment on her first apartment, $5,000, not counting the furniture I'd built, the shelves, the table, the bed frame, hours of work, materials. If I charged what a custom furniture maker would charge, probably $30,000 worth, not counting the time I'd spent fixing things in her apartment, leaky faucet, broken disposal, rewiring the overhead fan, free labor, free materials, every time she called, not counting the 3 years after Martha died when Jennifer was in high school and I somehow kept working 60-hour weeks while making sure she had clean clothes and hot meals and someone to talk to about her college essays and her boyfriend problems and her fear that she was forgetting what her mother's voice sounded like. You can't put a price on that, but you also can't pretend it didn't cost something. Too old, she'd said. I called my sister Marie. Jim, how are you? I'm fine. Listen, are you and Tom going to Jennifer's wedding? Of course. Wouldn't miss it. She's so excited. She'd tell you about the ceremony. Just that it's going to be beautiful. St. Catherine's is such a lovely church. She'd tell you I'm not walking her down the aisle. Silence. Marie? She mentioned something about wanting to keep it simple, modern. She said I was too old. Didn't want me falling down in front of Brad's important friends. Oh, Jim, I'm not calling for sympathy. I'm calling to let you know I won't be at the wedding. You have to go. You're her father. She made it clear I'm not needed in that capacity. Jim, she's young. She's stressed. Planning a wedding is, I gave her $84,000 over the last 4 years, Marie, not counting the monthly deposits, not counting everything else. And I'm too old to walk 20 feet down an aisle. Marie didn't have an answer for that. I told her I loved her. Hung up. The texts started 3 days later. Dad, did you see my message about the photographer? I didn't respond. 2 days after that. Dad, I need to know about the photographer. Can you cover it or not? Then, Dad, please answer me. Then, this is important. I need an answer. I finally replied, no. My phone rang immediately. I didn't pick up. She left a voicemail. I listened to it once. Dad, what is going on? You can't just ignore me. The wedding is 10 weeks away. I need to finalize the photographer. If you can't help, fine, but I need to know so I can figure something else out. Call me back. No apology. No, I'm sorry about what I said. Just irritation that the ATM wasn't working. That's what I'd become. I saw it clearly now. An ATM that sometimes got invited to Christmas dinner when Jennifer remembered. I didn't call back. Week 8 before the wedding, she showed up at my house, Saturday morning. I was in the workshop sanding a chess table, walnut, for my own use. Something to do with my hands. She knocked on the workshop door. Dad? I kept sanding. Dad, I know you're in there. Your truck's here. I set down the sandpaper, opened the door, didn't invite her in. We need to talk, she said. About what? About you ignoring me for 3 weeks. I answered your question. You asked if I could cover the photographer. I said no. That's it? Just no? That's it. She stepped closer. I could smell her perfume. Same one Martha used to wear. She'd found a bottle in the bathroom after Martha died, started wearing it. I'd never told her it hurt every time I smelled it. Dad, what is this really about? Nothing. You asked a question, I answered. Is this because of the aisle thing? Because I explained that. I'm trying to keep the ceremony simple. You said I was too old, might fall, bad optics. I didn't mean it. Like that. How did you mean it? She crossed her arms. Why are you being like this? Like what? Difficult. Petty. Petty. That was a new one. You need money for your wedding, I said. I understand that. It's expensive, but I'm not giving you any more. Any more? Dad, you gave me $2,000 6 months ago for the emergency fund. Before that? How much before that? She blinked. I don't know. Sometimes you'd help when I was short. $84,300 in 4 years, not counting the monthly deposits into your savings account, not counting the car, not counting the furniture, not counting the down payment on your apartment. Her face went white. You kept track? I looked at my bank statements, did the math. You tracked every time you helped me. I didn't track it. I looked back after you told me I was too old to walk you down the aisle. Wanted to see exactly what too old had paid for. Oh my God, you're seriously doing this because of the wedding ceremony? Are you 5 years old? I'm 72. Too old to be useful, apparently. This is insane. You're having some kind of breakdown. I'm having clarity. Over what? Me trying to keep my wedding elegant? Over the fact that you value Brad's father's opinion more than you value me. She stepped back like I'd shoved her. That's not true. Then tell me, when's the last time you visited when you didn't need something? I don't. We have lunch sometimes. 4 times last year. 3 of them you asked for money. The 4th you needed help moving furniture. Jesus, Dad, I didn't realize I needed to schedule quality time to keep you from throwing a tantrum. Tantrum. From the daughter who'd called me sobbing at 2 a.m. because her boyfriend in college had cheated on her, who I'd driven 3 hours to pick up, brought home, let cry on the same couch where her mother used to read to her, who I'd helped pack her entire apartment when that same boyfriend showed up drunk, who I'd co-signed a lease for because her credit wasn't good enough on its own. I'm not giving you any more money, Jennifer, for the wedding or anything else. Fine. Great. I'll figure it out myself, like I always do. Good luck. She turned, stopped, turned back. You know what? Maybe it's good you're not walking me down the aisle. At least Brad's dad won't embarrass me. She left. I went back to sanding the chess table. My hands were shaking. It took 20 minutes before they steadied enough to work. Week 6. The Facebook post appeared. I'm not on Facebook. Never saw the point. But my neighbor Eleanor showed me on her phone when she came over to drop off soup. Jim, I don't know what happened between you and Jennifer, but this seems excessive. The post was 6 paragraphs. Public. Jennifer had tagged St. Catherine's Church, Whitmore Financial, and 15 people from Brad's family. I need to share something difficult. My father, who I love dearly, has been struggling with aging. It's painful to watch. He's become paranoid, accusatory, and fixated on perceived slights. When Brad and I gently suggested he might be more comfortable at our wedding as a guest rather than participating in the ceremony, concerned about his mobility and the stress of a long day, he exploded. He's since cut off all contact and claimed we've used him for money. This breaks my heart. Dad, if you're reading this, please know I love you. But I can't enable this behavior. I hope you'll get the help you need. 347 likes, 112 comments. So sorry you're dealing with this. Aging parents are so hard. Have you looked into memory care facilities? My father went through the same thing. Paranoia is a symptom. Eleanor sat next to me at the kitchen table. Jim, is any of this true? Which part? The money part. I gave her $84,000 in 4 years, stopped after she told me I was too old to walk her down the aisle. Everything else is her interpretation. Eleanor nodded slowly. Do you want me to comment? Set the record straight? No. Jim, she made this public. She wants public opinion on her side. She can have it. But people think you're losing your mind. People who matter know I'm not. Eleanor squeezed my hand. Left the soup. Left me sitting there reading the comments on her phone. 347 people felt sorry for Jennifer. 347 people thought I was the problem. Maybe I was. Maybe cutting off your daughter 12 weeks before her wedding because she didn't want you in the ceremony makes you the villain. Or maybe it makes you someone who finally saw the pattern and decided to stop participating. I called my lawyer Monday morning. Jim, good to hear from you. How's retirement? Educational. I need to update my will. David Chen, no relation to anyone, just an unfortunately common name, had handled Martha's estate. Good lawyer, fair billing. Didn't waste time. What kind of updates? I want to remove my daughter as beneficiary. Everything goes to charity instead. Pause. That's a significant change. I'm aware. Can I ask what prompted this? I told him. Not everything, just enough. The aisle, the money, the Facebook post. Jim, I have to ask, are you making this decision out of anger? I'm making it out of clarity. Because if you're upset right now, I'm upset. But I'm also seeing something I've ignored for years. My daughter values my money. She doesn't value me. Why would I leave everything I have to someone who thinks I'm too old to walk 20 feet? You might feel differently after the wedding. After emotions cool. Then I'll change it back. But right now, I want it done. David sighed. All right. I'll draft the changes. Come in this week to sign. Thank you. Jim, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. This can't be easy. Wasn't. But easy and necessary aren't the same thing. Week 4 before the wedding. Jennifer called. I let it go to voicemail. Dad, Brad's family is asking questions about why you're not in the ceremony. I told them you had mobility issues, but now they're worried you won't be able to attend at all. Can you please call me back so we can figure out what to say? Not, I'm sorry. Not, I miss you. Just, what do we tell people? I didn't call back. 2 days later, another voicemail. Dad, this is getting ridiculous. I get that you're hurt. Fine. But the wedding is in 3 weeks, and I need to know if you're coming. Please answer me. I texted back. No. She called immediately. I declined it. She called again. I turned off my phone. When I turned it back on an hour later, there were 4 missed calls and 3 texts. You're not coming to my wedding? Are you serious right now? Dad, please. The last text came that night, 11 p.m. Brad's dad knows the governor. He has connections everywhere. If you're trying to embarrass me, it won't work. These people matter. You don't. I read that text 5 times. These people matter. You don't. I forwarded it to David the lawyer. No comment. Just the screenshot. He called me the next morning. Jesus, Jim. That's my daughter. I'm moving faster on those will changes. Come in today. I did. Week 2. Marie called. Jim, Jennifer is falling apart. She called me crying last night. About what? About you. She says you won't talk to her. Won't come to the wedding. She's devastated. She told me I don't matter. In writing. Silence. She said that? I forwarded her the text. Heard Marie's sharp intake of breath when she read it. Jim, I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. She's your daughter. She's an adult who told me I don't matter. Why would I attend a wedding where I'm not wanted? She does want you there. She's just young and stupid and stressed. She's 34 years old. That's not young. That's old enough to know better. Marie was crying. I can't watch this happen. You're the only family she has left. I'm the only family she had who'd give her money. Now that's stopped. I'm just an embarrassment. That's not fair. Read the text again. Tell me what's unfair. Marie couldn't. She apologized. Hung up. I felt bad about that. Marie didn't deserve the collateral damage, but she needed to know who Jennifer had become. Or maybe who she'd always been. And I'd been too busy being useful to notice. 4 days before the wedding. A knock on my door. 6 p.m. I wasn't expecting anyone. Brad stood on my porch, wearing khakis and a polo shirt, looking nervous. Mr. Mitchell, can we talk? I didn't invite him in. About what? About the wedding. About Jennifer. I'm not attending. I know. She told me. That's why I'm here. He ran his hand through his hair. 29 years old. Expensive haircut. Probably paid more for it than I spent on groceries in a month. Mr. Mitchell, I need you to reconsider. Why? Because Jennifer is miserable. She can't sleep. She's crying constantly. This is supposed to be the happiest week of her life, and instead, she's falling apart. Then maybe she should have thought about that before she told me I was too old to walk her down the aisle. She regrets that. She told me she regrets it. Did she tell you why I'm not coming? He shifted his weight. She said you were upset about the ceremony, about not being part of it. She tell you about the money? What money? The $84,000 I gave her over the last 4 years. Did she mention that? His face went blank. I don't. What? Or the monthly deposits into her savings account. $57,000 over 24 years. Did that come up? I didn't know. Or the text she sent me that said, "These people matter, you don't." Did she share that? Brad looked like I'd punched him. She didn't say that. I pulled out my phone, showed him the text, watched his face change as he read it. Mr. Mitchell, I'm sorry. I didn't know any of this. Now you do. I'll talk to her. We can fix this. You should be at the wedding. Why? So Jennifer can relax? So the bride's father doesn't cause gossip? Give me one reason that has anything to do with me being valued, being wanted, being respected. He opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. I can't. Then we're done here. My father really is walking her down the aisle. That's already set. Good for him. Mr. Mitchell, please. Jennifer loves you. No, Jennifer loves what I provide. There's a difference. I closed the door, stood there with my hand on the knob, heard Brad's footsteps on the porch. His car starting, driving away. My chest hurt. Sharp pain. I sat down, waited for it to pass. It did, eventually. The day of the wedding, June 14th, Saturday. Clear sky, 72 degrees. Perfect weather for an outdoor reception at the country club. I stayed home, made breakfast. Eggs, toast, bacon. Sat at the kitchen table. Same table where Jennifer had once colored pictures while Martha made dinner. Where we'd celebrated her 8th birthday. Where I'd taught her how to balance a checkbook before she left for college. My phone buzzed. A number I didn't recognize. Mr. Mitchell, this is Amanda Pierce from Whitmore Financial. I'm the Director of Human Resources. My stomach dropped. Yes? I need to speak with you about an urgent matter. Are you available to come to our offices on Monday morning? What's this about? I'd prefer to discuss it in person. Would 9 a.m. work? I need to know what this is regarding. She paused. It's regarding Brad Covington. And your daughter Jennifer. That's all I can say over the phone. Is Brad in trouble? Monday at 9, Mr. Mitchell. I'll email you the address. She hung up. I sat there staring at my phone. Whatever this was, it had to do with the wedding. With what I'd said to Brad. With something. I should have felt worried, anxious. Instead, I felt curious. Monday morning. I'd find out what Jennifer's perfect wedding had cost. Whitmore Financial occupied 4 floors of a glass building downtown. Parking cost $12. The lobby had marble floors and leather furniture and a receptionist who smiled like she was getting paid to enjoy her job. James Mitchell, here to see Amanda Pierce. Of course, 9th floor. I'll let her know you're on your way up. The elevator was mirrors and chrome. I looked 72 years old. Gray hair, lines around my eyes, work-rough hands. Not someone who belonged in a building like this. Amanda Pierce met me at the elevator. 50 years old. Sharp suit. Professional smile that didn't reach her eyes. Mr. Mitchell, thank you for coming. This way. She led me to a conference room. Glass walls, view of the river, coffee already poured. Before we begin, I want to clarify that you're not in any trouble. This meeting is purely informational. Informational about what? She opened a folder, slid a photograph across the table. It was me, standing in my driveway, talking to Brad, 4 days ago. This was taken by Brad's father. He was apparently keeping tabs on Brad after learning about tension with the wedding. That's legal? It's his son, in a public driveway. Legally gray, morally questionable, but that's not why you're here. She slid another photograph. This one showed Brad leaving. He looked upset. Brad came back from this conversation and told his father he was calling off the wedding. My heart stopped. What? He didn't go through with it. His father convinced him otherwise. The wedding happened as planned yesterday, but Brad told his father what you'd said, about the money, about Jennifer's text, about the pattern of behavior. I still don't understand why I'm here. Amanda folded her hands. Because Brad's father is Gregory Covington. He's been on our board of directors for 12 years, and he called me Saturday night after the wedding reception. To tell you what? That he wanted Jennifer Mitchell removed from any possibility of working here. That he considered her a financial liability and a manipulative influence on his son. That he'd personally ensure she never advanced in any company where he had connections. I felt cold. Jennifer doesn't work here. No, but she'd applied. 3 months ago. For a senior analyst position. We were about to extend an offer. Starting salary would have been $160,000. That's triple what she makes now. The room tilted. I need you to understand, Amanda continued. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm informing you of what's happened. Gregory Covington has significant influence in financial circles in this city. If he's blacklisting someone, it will have consequences. You're telling me Jennifer lost a job because I told her fiancé the truth? I'm telling you that Gregory Covington believes his son married someone who manipulated her father out of $84,000, and he doesn't want that person anywhere near his family's business relationships. She didn't manipulate me. I gave her that money. Did she ever pay any of it back? No. Did she ever thank you? I thought about it. Really thought. Tried to remember a single "thank you, Dad" after a transfer, a card, an email, anything. No. Amanda nodded. Gregory sees a pattern. I'm not here to judge whether he's right. I'm here because you're Jennifer's father, and I thought you deserved to know what's happened. What else did Gregory say? That Brad signed a post-nuptial agreement yesterday morning, before the ceremony, protecting his assets in case of divorce. That his father insisted on it after talking to Brad on Thursday night. Brad had left my driveway and told his father everything. His father had forced a postnup, had killed Jennifer's job offer, had declared war on my daughter's future, because I'd told the truth. Mr. Mitchell, you're pale. Can I get you water? I'm fine. For what it's worth, I looked into Jennifer's application here. Her resume was impressive. She interviewed well. The hiring manager loved her. This decision came entirely from the board level, based on what Gregory told you. Yes, I stood up. Thank you for telling me. Mr. Mitchell, wait. There's one more thing. I sat back down. Amanda slid a business card across the table. Gregory asked me to give you this. It's his personal number. He said to tell you he respects a father who holds boundaries. And if you ever needed anything, a reference, a connection, a favor, to call him. I stared at that business card. Gold, embossed. Gregory Covington, board member. He's offering me favors. He's offering you respect. In his world, that's more valuable. I took the card, put it in my pocket, left the building in a daze, drove home on autopilot, sat in my truck in the driveway for 20 minutes trying to process what had just happened. Jennifer had married Brad yesterday. Didn't know her job offer was dead. Didn't know she'd signed a postnup. Didn't know her new father-in-law considered her a threat. And it was my fault, sort of. Not really. I'd just told the truth, but I'd set this in motion. My phone rang. Jennifer. I almost didn't answer. Dad? Her voice sounded thin, tired. Jennifer, I'm sorry. About everything. About the aisle. About the text. About all of it. I was awful to you and I'm sorry. Okay. Can we talk, please? Can I come over? When? Today? This afternoon? We're back from the honeymoon suite, just one night. Brad had to work today, but I'm free. Can I come over? Sure. Thank you. I'll be there in an hour. She hung up. I sat there holding the phone. Something had changed. Jennifer never apologized, never admitted fault, never asked permission to come over. She knew. Somehow she knew. She arrived 45 minutes later. Drove up in the car I'd bought her 6 years ago. The Honda Accord I'd paid $22,000 for. Knocked on the door. Waited for me to open it. Didn't just walk in like she used to. Hi, Dad. Jennifer. She looked different. Thinner. Dark circles under her eyes. Wedding ring on her left hand. Simple band. Probably expensive. Can I come in? I stepped aside. She walked to the kitchen table. Sat down in the same chair where she told me I was too old. The wedding was beautiful, she said. I wish you'd been there. I'm sure Brad's father was fine walking you down the aisle. She flinched. He was, but it wasn't the same. What did you need to talk about? I got a call this morning from Whitmore Financial. They rescinded the job offer. There it was. I didn't know you'd applied there. I didn't tell you. I wanted it to be a surprise. For after the wedding, a new job, new salary, new start. She was crying now. They said the offer was withdrawn due to concerns from the board. They wouldn't tell me what concerns, but Brad told me this morning that his father called them. Why would he do that? Because Brad told him what you said, about the money, about the text, about everything. She looked up at me. Dad, what did you tell him? The truth. What truth? That I gave you $84,000 in 4 years, that you never paid any of it back, that you texted me saying I don't matter. And now Gregory hates me, and I lost the job. And Brad made me sign a postnup yesterday morning, before the wedding, because his father insisted. She put her head on the table, sobbed. Real, ugly crying. The kind she used to do when she was little and fell off her bike. I wanted to comfort her, put my hand on her shoulder, tell her it would be okay. But I didn't, because this was the consequence. This was what happened when you told someone they didn't matter and they finally believed you. "I'm sorry," she gasped. "I'm so sorry, Dad. I was horrible to you. I took you for granted. I treated you like an ATM. I know I did, and now it's ruined everything." "Jennifer, no, let me finish. You were right about all of it. You gave me everything, and I never even said thank you. I just expected it. And when you couldn't be useful anymore, I pushed you away. I'm a terrible person." "You're not terrible. You're young. I'm 34. I'm not young. I'm old enough to know better." She lifted her head. Mascara streaked down her face. Same face that used to light up when I came home from work. When did that stop? When did I become an obligation instead of her dad? "Can you fix this?" she whispered. "Fix what?" "The job. Gregory. All of it. Can you talk to him, explain that I'm not whatever he thinks I am?" And there it was. The real reason for the apology. The tears. The confession. She needed me to fix it. "No. What? I'm not calling Gregory Covington. I'm not fixing this." "But you could. He gave you his number, didn't he? Brad said he respects you. If you just called him and told him what? That you didn't mean it when you said I didn't matter? That the $84,000 was a gift and not manipulation? That you're actually grateful?" "Yes, all of that. Dad, please. This job was everything. It was going to change my life." I stood up. "You want me to fix the consequences of your actions? After you told me I was too old to walk you down the aisle, after you posted on Facebook that I was losing my mind, after you said I didn't matter. I was wrong. I admitted I was wrong. You admitted it after you got caught, after there were consequences, not before. You didn't apologize until it hurt you. That's not fair." "Life isn't fair, Jennifer. I learned that when your mother died and I had to figure out how to raise a 17-year-old daughter while grieving my wife. You're learning it now." She stood up. "So that's it? You're just going to let my life fall apart?" "Your life isn't falling apart. You're married. You have a job. You have a home. You just don't have the upgrade you wanted. I needed that job." "Why?" "Because—" She stopped, started again. "Because Brad's family is rich. They have expectations. I need to be able to contribute at that level. So this is about impressing Brad's family. It's about being worthy of them. And I wasn't worthy of basic respect." She opened her mouth, closed it, the math finally computing in her head. "Dad." "You should go, Jennifer. Congratulations on your marriage. I hope it brings you everything you're looking for." "You're really not going to help me." "I'm really not." She grabbed her purse, headed for the door, stopped with her hand on the knob. "You know what? Fine. I don't need your help. I'll figure it out myself. I always do. Good luck." She left. The door closed. Not quite a slam, but close. I sat back down at the kitchen table, looked at my coffee, still hot. I'd made a fresh pot before she arrived. My phone buzzed. Text from Eleanor next door. "Just saw Jennifer leave. You okay?" "I'm fine." "Soup tonight?" "Soup sounds good." I finished my coffee. Thought about calling Gregory Covington, asking him to reconsider Jennifer's application, using whatever respect he had for me to help my daughter. I didn't. Some lessons you have to learn the hard way. Jennifer had spent 34 years learning that Dad would always fix things, always provide, always be there. Time she learned something different. 3 months passed. Summer turned to fall. The crocuses Martha planted died back. I worked on the chess table, finished it, started a new project. A rocking chair. Maple. For myself. Old man chair for an old man. Jennifer didn't call, didn't text, didn't visit. Marie updated me occasionally. Jennifer was fine. The marriage was fine. She'd found a new job. Didn't pay as much as Whitmore would have, but it was fine. Everything was fine. I refinished the floors in the living room, fixed the leaky gutter on the south side, Replaced the water heater, stayed busy. Eleanor brought soup every Friday. We'd eat together, talk about nothing. Weather, garden, the neighborhood. She never asked about Jennifer. I appreciated that. October. The leaves turned. I was in the workshop when my phone rang. Unknown number. Mr. Mitchell? This is Gregory Covington. I set down my tools. Mr. Covington, I apologize for calling out of the blue. I got your number from Amanda Pierce at Whitmore. I hope that's all right. It's fine. I wanted to reach out personally. About Jennifer. My stomach tightened. What about her? Brad has been struggling. The marriage is difficult. Jennifer is apparently quite unhappy about the job situation. She brings it up frequently. Blames me, blames you. It's causing tension. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm calling to ask if you'd be willing to meet with me, and Brad, and Jennifer, to discuss the situation. What situation? The Whitmore position. I may have been hasty in my reaction. I'd like to revisit it, but only if you're comfortable. Why does my comfort matter? Because Brad told me you're a good man who was hurt by your daughter. I don't want to add to that hurt, but I also don't want my son's marriage to fail over my decision. So I'm asking if you'd be willing to sit down together and talk. I thought about it. Jennifer, Brad, Gregory, me, all in one room. When? This Saturday. My home, noon. Casual meeting, no pressure. I'll be there. Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. I appreciate it. He hung up. I stood there in the workshop. Afternoon light coming through the window. Dust particles floating. Same workshop where I'd built Jennifer's crib 34 years ago. Full circle. Gregory Covington's home was in the historic district. 3 stories. Brick. Circular driveway. The kind of house I used to build for other people. I parked on the street, walked up, rang the bell. Gregory answered. Tall, silver hair. Expensive casual clothes. Country club casual. The kind that costs more than formal wear. Mr. Mitchell, James, thank you for coming. Gregory. He shook my hand. Firm grip. Led me inside. The foyer had a chandelier, marble floor, original woodwork, beautiful craftsmanship. Brad and Jennifer are in the study. Can I get you coffee? Water? Coffee. Black. He led me down a hallway. Opened a door. The study had floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, leather furniture, a desk that probably cost more than my truck. Brad stood when I entered. Jennifer stayed seated, looked at me, looked away. James, good to see you. Brad shook my hand, looked nervous. I nodded, sat in the chair Gregory indicated, accepted the coffee he handed me. Gregory sat behind the desk. Brad and Jennifer on the couch across from me, like a negotiation or a trial. Thank you all for coming, Gregory started. I know this situation is uncomfortable. I'll keep it brief. Jennifer, I owe you an apology. Jennifer looked up, shocked. My reaction to what Brad told me was based on incomplete information. I made assumptions about your character without knowing the full story. That was wrong of me. Thank you, Jennifer whispered. Gregory turned to me. James, I want to apologize to you as well for inserting myself into your family situation. That wasn't my place. You were protecting your son. I was, but I went too far, and I'd like to make it right, if possible. How? By offering Jennifer the position at Whitmore, if she still wants it. The salary would be the same as originally offered. $160,000. Jennifer's face transformed. Are you serious? I am, on one condition. Her face fell. What condition? Gregory looked at me. That your father approves. The room went silent. Jennifer stared at me. Brad stared at me. Gregory watched me with interest. Why does my approval matter? I asked. Because I was wrong about you, Gregory said. You weren't manipulating Jennifer. You were setting a boundary after years of being taken for granted. That takes strength, and I respect it. So if you tell me that Jennifer has made amends, that your relationship is repaired, then I trust that, and I'll offer her the job. But if you tell me she hasn't changed, that she still sees you as an ATM, then I won't. Because I don't want someone like that in my organization. He was putting the power in my hands. Entirely. Jennifer's future, her job, her marriage maybe. All dependent on what I said right now. Jennifer was crying. Silent tears. Staring at me. Waiting. "Dad," she whispered. "Please." I looked at her. Really looked. She looked exhausted. Thinner than last time. Unhappy. The wedding ring on her finger suddenly looked heavy. "Have you paid back any of the $84,000? I asked. She shook her head. "No." "Have you apologized? Really apologized? Not because you needed something, but because you meant it?" I tried to, when I came to your house, but you wouldn't listen. I listened. You apologized because you wanted me to fix your problem, not because you were sorry." "I was sorry." "Then show me." "How?" I set down my coffee, leaned forward. "You have 3 months of marriage, 3 months of living with Brad, of understanding what it's like to build a life with someone. Your mother and I had 33 years. We built this city together. Her teaching, me building. Every house I constructed, she was part of it. Every student she taught, I heard about at dinner. When she died, I didn't lose a wife. I lost my partner, the person who made every single day make sense." Jennifer was sobbing now. Brad had his arm around her. "You told me I was too old to walk you down the aisle. You didn't just hurt my feelings. You told me that the 33 years I spent with your mother, the years that made you possible, weren't worth 20 feet of your respect. That I wasn't valuable enough to be seen by Brad's important friends." "I didn't mean it like that." "Then how did you mean it?" "I don't know. I was stressed. I wasn't thinking." "That's the problem. You weren't thinking. About me. About what I'd given you. About what I'd sacrificed. You were thinking about optics. About what Brad's family would think. About yourself." Gregory was watching this like a hawk. Brad looked miserable. Jennifer looked destroyed. "So here's what I need," I continued. "I need you to understand that I'm not an ATM. I'm not a safety net. I'm not a resource. I'm your father. And if you want me in your life, you need to treat me like I matter. Not when it's convenient. Not when you need something. Always." "I can do that," Jennifer choked out. "I swear I can do that." "Then prove it." "How?" "Start paying me back. $50 a month. I don't need the money. But you need to understand that what I gave you wasn't free. It cost me time, effort, planning, security. So pay me back. Slowly. Over years if you have to, but pay me back." "Okay. Yes, I'll start immediately." "And visit me. Not when you need something. Just visit. Once a month. Bring Brad. Have dinner. Talk to me like I'm a human being you're interested in, not an obligation you're fulfilling." "I will. I promise. And stop posting about me on Facebook or anywhere else. My life is private. If you have a problem with me, talk to me, not the internet." "I deleted that post months ago, right after you didn't come to the wedding." "Good." I sat back, looked at Gregory. "That's what I need. If Jennifer does those things, then yes, our relationship is repaired. Give her the job." Gregory nodded slowly. "Fair enough. Jennifer, can you meet those conditions?" "Yes, absolutely, yes." "Then the job is yours. Start date would be November 1st, 2 weeks. Amanda will send you the official offer Monday morning." Jennifer stood up, came over to me, knelt down next to my chair. "Thank you, Dad. Thank you so much. I won't let you down. I promise." I looked at her, her mother's eyes, her mother's nose, my stubborn chin. "I hope not." She hugged me. I hugged her back, felt her shaking, crying into my shoulder like she used to when she was small. Maybe this would work. Maybe she'd actually change. Maybe I'd get my daughter back. Or maybe this was just another transaction, another thing she needed that I could provide. Time would tell. 2 weeks later, Jennifer started at Whitmore Financial, texted me a picture of her office. Nice view, big desk. She looked happy. "First day, wish me luck." I texted back, "Good luck." 2 days after that, she came over for dinner. Brought Brad. We ate lasagna. Talked about work, about the house, about nothing important. She didn't ask for money, didn't need anything fixed, just visited. It felt strange. Good strange. When they left, she hugged me. Same time next month? Sure. I love you, Dad. I love you too. They drove away. I cleaned up the dishes, thought about Martha, about how she would have handled all this. Probably better than me. She was always better with Jennifer, knew how to talk to her, knew how to set boundaries without burning bridges. I'd burned the bridge, but maybe we were building it back. One dinner at a time. October, 1 month into Jennifer's new job. I got a letter in the mail, her handwriting. Inside was a check for $50 and a note. First payment, 93 years to go at this rate. I'm sorry it took me this long to understand what you gave me. I love you. J. I put the check on my desk. Didn't cash it, just looked at it sometimes, proof that something had changed. November. She came over for dinner again. Brought wine. Good wine. Expensive. We talked about her job, about Brad's promotion, about Thanksgiving plans. We'd like to host this year, she said. At our house. You, me, Brad, Marie, and Tom. Small. Family. Sounds good. And Dad, I'd like you to say grace, if that's okay. Martha used to say grace. Every holiday. Every dinner. I hadn't done it since she died. I'd be honored. December. Christmas. Jennifer gave me a framed photo. Her and me. From when she was 6. We were in the workshop. I was teaching her how to sand. She was concentrating so hard. Martha had taken the picture. I found it in Mom's things. Thought you might want it. I did. Hung it in the workshop, right above my workbench. January, she called. Dad, can I ask you something? My stomach clenched. What? Brad and I are thinking about buying a house. Something bigger. We'd need help with the down payment, but I wanted to ask first, instead of just assuming. And I'd pay you back. All of it, over time. With interest, if you want. I thought about it. This was the test. This was where I found out if anything had actually changed. How much do you need? 20,000. But if that's too much, I'll loan it to you, 0 interest. Pay me back $100 a month until it's done. And Jennifer? Yeah. Thank you for asking. She was crying. I could hear it. Thank you for saying yes. We hung up. I transferred the money the next day. Got a promissory note from David the lawyer. Made it official. This time it was different. This time there were terms, expectations, boundaries. This time I wasn't an ATM. I was a father helping his daughter. There's a difference. March. I finished the rocking chair. Maple. Beautiful grain. Comfortable. Put it in the living room. Sat in it sometimes. Reading. Thinking. Eleanor came over with soup. Saw the chair. That's gorgeous, Jim. Thanks. You making more? You could sell these. Maybe. Hadn't thought about it. You should. People would pay good money. I thought about that. Starting a small business, custom. Furniture. Something to do with my time, with my hands, with the skills I'd spent 46 years developing. Maybe I will. April. Jennifer's birthday. 35. We had dinner at her house. She cooked. Chicken marsala. Martha's recipe. After dinner, she gave me something. An envelope. What's this? Open it. Inside was a card. Handmade. Her handwriting. Dad, I'm sorry I told you that you were too old to walk me down the aisle. I'm sorry I took you for granted. I'm sorry it took losing almost everything to understand what I had. You're not too old. You're not an ATM. You're my dad, and I love you. Jennifer. I read it 3 times. Put it in my wallet. Still there. Read it sometimes when I need to remember that people can change. That forgiveness isn't weakness. It's strength. That boundaries aren't walls. They're foundations. June. 1 year since the wedding. Jennifer called. Dad, can we talk? Sure. I wanted to tell you something, Brad and I are expecting a baby, due in January, a grandfather. I was going to be a grandfather. That's wonderful, Jennifer. We'd like to name him James, after you, if that's okay. I couldn't speak. Sat there holding the phone, thinking about Martha, about how she'd always wanted grandchildren, about how she'd never get to meet this one. Dad, is that okay? That's more than okay. Good, because we want you involved, really involved, not just visits. We want you to be Grandpa, the kind who teaches him how to build things, how to use tools, how to sand wood until it's smooth, like you taught me. I'd like that. Me too. We hung up. I sat in the maple rocking chair, looked at the framed photo of 6-year-old Jennifer in the workshop, learning to sand, full circle. Maybe redemption isn't dramatic. Maybe it's slow, small moments. $50 checks, monthly dinners, apologies written by hand. Maybe it's a daughter finally understanding what her father gave her, and a father learning that boundaries and love aren't opposites. They're the same thing. If you like this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.